Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to go ahead and do a updated video for how to build an entire Yu-Gi-Oh collection from scratch. You're just starting out, or if any of you guys have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, how to get a 100% way to profit in Yu-Gi-Oh with very little risk. As any card game, you open up packs, you have no idea what the heck is in them. So this is going to be a video for newer players as well as people that have been playing the game for quite some time. What made me want to make this video is actually someone mentioned that, like, you know, they're just starting out, they just got into Yu-Gi-Oh, they evolved from, let's say, like Duel Links or whatever, you know, background you came from. They wanted to start building up that Yu-Gi-Oh collection, and I ended up linking them the video that I did several years ago, which I think a lot of you guys did like, and I'll still link it down below just in case any of you guys do want to check it out. But from the overwhelmingly positive reception that this video got, I figure it's time for an update. It's been several years, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. So starting off, one thing that a lot of people want to do is just buy a collection. And I would say that's probably one of the worst things to do, unless you're buying it from someone that has no idea what they you know, have on their hands. And what I mean by that is more likely a parent or someone that has no idea what these Yu-Gi-Oh cards are worth, and more likely you will then get a good collection. You'll get a collection that is actually going to be worth more than what you paid. So for example, any of these like Yu-Gi-Oh collections that are several $1,000s, I would stay far away from. One, more than likely the person's looked up all the values of the cards, and again, you're more than likely gonna not be able to gain a profit off of going ahead and just buying an entire Yu-Gi-Oh collection. If you want to do that, some YouTube content creators, they can actually profit off this. If you get several million views on, you know, a few videos that you upload, if you buy like a several $1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh collection, yeah, maybe. It's more so for the Pokemon realm, as Yu-Gi-Oh, I would say, is not as popular as the Pokemon openings that, you know, can go for several thousands of dollars versus, again, what we have in Yu-Gi-Oh. But, I mean, that's not to say that, you know, LOB first, you know, sealed is not worth anything. It's just that Pokemon, some of the sealed product is worth a lot more than some of the Yu-Gi-Oh product, and those can generate more views. So you have to look at it at a standpoint like that as well. But also, some people think about just buying an entire Yu-Gi-Oh binder that has a bunch of cards for maybe several $100s versus thousands. It depends on your budget, but this also, I would stay far away from. I mean, look at this guy's like first few pages in his binder. Does that look like it's worth $150? I don't know. Maybe it is. It depends if he shows off all of the cards. Now, the only sure way to 100% profit off of it is if you literally look up every single card and make sure that it's worth that much. You could do that, which is always available for anyone that is, you know, buying cards online. But you also have to consider that certain cards, this is more for newer Yu-Gi-Oh players, just because the card exists does not mean that the card is always worth one value, as there are several prints of the same card. I'm just going to use Blue Eyes for an example, just in case you're out on like a yard sale swap meet, or you see someone trying to sell like a YuGiOh right? Just because it's YuGiOh does not mean every Blue Eyes is, let's say, $5 or $10 or whatever the case may be. You must look at the numbers in it, as this is just several different forms of Blue Eyes. Some are hundreds of dollars, some are only a couple dollars. Depending on the set, this is where it says STP1-EN004. Look that up. You could just look up that and on eBay or any like Yu-Gi-Oh card application, and it'll tell you how much that one is worth. But that's the most important thing that you need to look at versus the name. You could still look up the name, but you also have to make sure that that matches. That's a very important factor. But another part of like second or third party markets over here with Yu-Gi-Oh are these mystery packs, these power cubes. Now the power cubes do come with booster packs. Usually they're the booster packs that like aren't as hot, not in the core sets or like offset. Just not what I would consider like the chase cards usually are. You're not going to be in some of these, like, you know, what is this, like a Monster League or whatever the case may be. They're usually like packs that aren't the hottest, right? I've seen a lot of these on YouTube where they open up super amazing, but as a content creator myself, I can definitely say that sometimes I do unboxing of Yu-Gi-Oh products, and if the stuff isn't really that great, I just go ahead and be like, you know what, that really wasn't a great upload. So what I will try to do is maybe save that video and get another really good opening and combine them together. I'm not saying that every Yu-Gi-Oh content creator does it. Sometimes, you know, as a content creator myself, we're just going to be spectating, by the way, just so I have some background gameplay here. That sometimes when you open up not so great, it happens, man. Sometimes as a content creator, you don't really want to upload those, so you try to upload your best stuff. And more than likely, there are maybe some content creators, you know, this was more for like CSGO skins where it happened, where they would like do these unboxings that would open up super good and be like, visit this website to go buy these cards or download, you know, it was like for like CSGO like skins back in the day. Those maybe were rigged, right? You know, but with these power cubes, I don't know if some people are sponsored to open these. Like, I do have a partnership with some Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, card dealers, and I have said, you know, this video, you know, I got these cards from them. But in terms of them being rigged, I don't know. But you also have to keep that in mind with any content creator when they're opening stuff. Maybe that they've shot, you know, several of these openings just to get that one good recording. Always think about that too. I'm not saying that any content creator is doing that, but I'm just trying to let you guys know that sometimes as a content creator, when you go look up, you know, what's in a power cube, they might open up really good. The chances of these power cubes, or specifically these, I think these are like one of the worst options, where these are mystery, these are like already opened Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And like, dude, these very, very rarely ever have anything good in them. So I would say I would not recommend these, where it's like a resale, or it just guarantees you, it guarantees 5 rares. Those 5 rare 10-cent cards, all right? They're usually not what I would consider the best. Now, what is the best is buying a Yu-Gi-Oh collection for very cheap, and one area that you can do this is at swap meets, garage sales. This entire Yu-Gi-Oh collection that I purchased, and if you guys want to see the full video, I'll link it down below, but this is packed to the brim, and I didn't even see what was in here, and I purchased it because as a content creator, if the price is right, what I'm going to do is, and you guys have probably seen these a few different times, where we would just go ahead and do an unboxing. It'll be like a $10 mystery Yu-Gi-Oh box or something like that, where I buy it off of a yard sale or a swap meet, versus like a website that has, you know, hundreds of these boxes of mystery things that they're selling. This is literally like, I see someone's Yu-Gi-Oh collection, and, you know, I'm like, how much is this at a yard sale or garage sale? And this one was 10 bucks. Bought the whole thing, made a video off of it, and I guarantee you, it was worth $10. If you guys want to see the video, I'll link it down below. But it was definitely a cool experience. You can see that I have like a Yu-Gi-Oh app, like TCG Player. I was just opening it up, just trying to see some of the cards and seeing if that they were worth anything. So again, the best places I would say, yard sales, garage sales. These are excellent spots to go ahead and find people that are selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I have no idea what these cards are worth. It could be a mom, a grandpa, like if their kid doesn't play the game anymore, maybe they moved out. They're just trying to get rid of these. They will literally sell it for a very cheap price, and you can always bargain. That's the nice thing with yard sales and garage sales. Like if they're like, hey, I want $10 for this Yu-Gi-Oh collection. If you say $5, they're like, dude, I just want to get rid of it. Sure, why not? You just went 5+ right there, right? Think about that. So I would say the best are yard sales and garage sales, but like these, like where it's like already open up, I would stay far away from those. But again, yard sales, garage sales, great. You can also think about core sets, like basically the booster packs. Is this a good way to start out a Yu-Gi-Oh collection? I would say this is a pretty cool way to start out, because it's a mystery. You don't know what you're getting, but it's not going to guarantee you always getting good results. Like some sets, as you guys know, are only going to have like 1 or 2 cards that are worth anything. And if you don't pull that secret rare and you buy a box of it, you just went minus. So think about that too. Booster boxes, certain sets can be better than others. It all depends on what the set is, and also the you know, short prints, all the ratios, like, you know, how common is it to get certain cards out of it? What are the good reprints also? You got to think about that as well. I can't really offer a suggestion to like every single set, like in one video. That would take up a lot of time. But I do cover a bunch of the sets, and I go over all of the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards and how good they are going to be potentially. So if you guys are new here and you guys want to like know about like the future Yu-Gi-Oh products and stuff, definitely just subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see more, as I do cover, again, every Yu-Gi-Oh card that comes out. I cover on my channel because I also like to show you guys gameplay. But these, I would say, like in terms of like core sets and booster boxes, booster packs, I would say that that's like a medium area, because again, you could plus, you could minus. It's kind of the mystery, and that's just part of any card game. So for these, I would say it's like overall, I would consider it in the middle. Again, so swap meet, garage sales, the best, 100%. These ones I consider in the middle, but when you're buying like those collections on eBay or like these mystery, like already open ones, I would consider those probably something I would stay far away from. But there are better sets than others, like Ghosts from the Past, that's going to be coming out later this year, which probably looks like it's a pretty good thing. So another thing is Craigslist. Now with Craigslist, sometimes you'll see when people like list out how much they want for certain cards. Like for example, over here, he's asking, he has written $200 on this Armed Dragon level 7. Do I think he knows what he's doing with these prices? Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean that just because he's selling for this, you know, $200 for Armed Dragon level 7 doesn't mean like, okay, this guy's way overcharging for his cards. Like, yeah, Armed Dragon level 7 is more likely not going to be worth $200. But you can go to different Yu-Gi-Oh websites and find out the price of, certain Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There might be some that you can profit off of, but what I'm saying is this guy probably doesn't know the value of a bunch of the cards. Like, what the heck are these prices too? Some of them are so random. Some of these you might be able to profit off of. Again, you just have to simply look up them and also make sure they're in good condition. But in addition to that, he might have a lot more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he might just be showing off some of the rare stuff. There is money in commons. Some commons can go anywhere from $5 to $10, and sometimes there are common piles of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that just sell for really cheap at, different comic book shops. They'll be like, here's our Yu-Gi-Oh bin, these are the commons, 10 for $1, something like that, right? You can profit off of commons, but like some of these, like you'll just see a lot of these on like Craigslist and even Facebook Marketplace where they're either way overpriced or they just have no idea what they're doing with some of the cards, is what it comes down to. Another thing is sometimes when people list stuff with no pictures, people just literally don't respond. Like this guy's asking for $800, which is like an absurd amount. He doesn't even have any pictures, and he's like serious buyers. Well, dude, that's kind of weird, right? How many Yu-Gi-Oh cards are there? He says thousands, but the thing is that there might not be anyone that hits him up, and you don't even know what's there. So because most people will just look at this and pass it, he might have a good deal. The best thing to do, hit him up, say, hey, can you send me some pictures of some of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards there? You don't have to buy all of them. Maybe you can just be like, hey, I want to pick out a couple cards for, let's say, like $5. I just want like these few cards. Will you sell, like, if he's got thousands and, the person has no idea what they're doing. Maybe it was from their son and, it's just like a mom that has like a house that like one room is just filled to the brim with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and she actually wants $800, and it might actually be worth it, but chances are you're probably just going to pick out a couple cards. But you always ask, can I see some pictures? Because again, maybe no one's hit them up, and at this point, maybe this was posted a month or 2 months ago, no one hit them up. Like this is 2 months ago. If no one hit them up, maybe they'd be like, all right, I want to lower my price. Keep that in mind too. But also, for example, like this one, this could be a good one as well. You can see over here, it says they're selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards, variety of them, and then there's ultra rare and super rare cards, 10 for $20. Now, it looks like we got Wiretap. That's kind of a cool card, but is that really worth that much money? No. But I want to say, via looking at the picture, if they're just laying them out like that, they probably don't know what they're doing, right? As they're just selling the ultra and super rare cards for like X amount. So one thing that you can take into consideration with this is that you can maybe just pick out a couple cards, and it could be worth it. Again, a lot of times when it comes down to like parents, when they sell stuff on like Craigslist, eBay, or something, they just like don't know what to take a picture of, so they take a couple pictures of some of the cards, right? Think about that as well. Next up over here, this one I just saw, it just says first edition starter deck. It says it has been opened, but they're all in excellent condition. The important part, first edition cards can be worth quite a bit. The first edition Red Eyes in here, it's a pretty pricey card if you just go to like eBay and you check out, as long as it's in really good condition. A first ed, starter deck Joey is actually worth a little bit of money here. So he just said, just reply with an offer. Heck, you could just be like $5. If they say no, whatever, it's no big deal. Or you could say, $10, whatever. The best thing when it says just offer and is you could just say, hey, give me like a ballpark price for, this entire, starter deck. Maybe they'll be like, hey, $10, $20. I mean, again, if he knows what he's doing, then obviously he will want more, and you could just say, okay, thank you, but I'll pass if he's like, $50, and there's not as much room to make a profit versus, if he's like $5, right? So keep that in mind as well. And speaking of that, look at this one over here. This one is another one where it's $180, but look what's over in one of the pictures. I did see that there is, in this picture right here, it's really tiny. You can't really see if it's first edition or not. But hey, maybe you can contact them. Say, hey, I'm really interested in that specific card. Is it first edition or not? He wants $180 for all of the cards. Maybe you can say, I just want that. How's $5, right? That could be a huge profit, a huge plus. There might be some other cards in here, but that's just one thing that I noticed with like this picture. Sometimes people take a picture of all the cards, and it's like, it's so small, like you can't read if it's first ed or not. But keep that in mind as well when you are looking at Yu-Gi-Oh collections. Now, in addition to that, another great spot is the Facebook Marketplace. And here's one example that I just literally found right now. Another thing is, when you're looking at Facebook Marketplaces, Craigslist, a lot of different like websites that would sell anything, there's tons of websites, right? Check to see under antiques and collectibles, games and hobbies, and then also trading cards, obviously. But look at this one. It says that it's a random 60 Yu-Gi-Oh cards for $9. You have 2 stacks of 60 cards. My son is done collecting. If you look at the picture and it's like a mom or a grandma, they just want to get rid of the stuff more than likely, right? Or a grandpa, whatever the case may be. But there might be a good deal in there. If they're in like literally Ziploc sandwich plastic bags, more than likely the kid probably didn't know what he was doing with the game. There might be some foils in there, there might not. But it says there's so many, you can pick up whatever the case may be. You can always ask, you know, can I have, you know, this one says, don't ask me to take pictures. Sometimes people, they just want to get rid of the things. And maybe like if this is posted, like, and it's been several months, you'd be like, hey dude, I'll give you $5 for both of them. They just want to get rid of them. And they're just like, sure, why not? Whatever. Again, when it comes down to someone that knows nothing about it and there's no offers, because again, if she's like, I don't want to take more pictures, maybe no one's hit them up. But this is what you really want to look for, is like my son's collection is kind of the key word here with this one. But there's also a few other ones, and I covered up the listing because it might have like their Facebook picture. But like another one that looked potential, there's Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Pick the ones you want for $5. I've seen a like, I dug through, let me see if do I have it right here? Oh yeah, here it is. So I went through like a pile. This was at a swap meet. I got this for $1. What this is a test print Yu-Gi-Oh card, but like these are worth obviously more than 25 cents. But the thing is you got to look through a lot of stuff and piles of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that just like more people just wouldn't go through. Like it was in a big pile, just said Yu-Gi-Oh cards 25 cents each. I just skimmed through them. Most of the stuff was in like terrible condition. There was no foils in it, but there was that test print card, right? These are the things that you want to look out for, is like when it's just like, whatever case, it's just like stacks of cards and it's like a low price. You can pick it up and maybe make a YouTube video, Cap. But like for me, like if I bought this, like I could probably make a profit off of just like uploading a YouTube video for $5. If I picked $5 and got all of them, or whatever the case may be, maybe they're selling $5 for like, you can pick any 10 cards or whatever, right? You can just look for the cards that you want. One thing I want to say, look out for, and this is like a do not buy. This is what I would consider a bad collection buy. If someone's listing, like this guy over here, he's listing all the cards right here, and which is really nice. It shows you exactly what you're buying. And it shows you all the cards right here are worth $141. Now he's selling it for $120. $20 profit, is that worth it? No, not really, not at all. That your time is really not worth going over there for $20 profit in Yu-Gi-Oh, especially because this guy in his picture, none of the cards were sleeves. They were all just stacked on top of each other. More than likely, they might not be all in perfect condition. You know, maybe they are, but what I'm saying is that there's not enough meat on the bone right here if you are a collector or trying to build a collection to be able to buy that and actually go plus. More than likely, you're just gonna essentially break even. Sometimes when there's reprints of things go up and down. I just would stay away from this if anyone's like adding up all the cards. And I've also noticed that in some comic book shops nowadays, like they'll have like a comment section. You can, like, you know, buy like 10 for $1 or whatever, 25 cents each. But if you ask the price of like their cards in the binder, they will literally just go to TCG Player and look it up. And I know it's annoying, but don't buy the cards individually like that. Again, especially if they're looking them up. If you just need a very specific card and you're building a deck, you know, buying singles is the best option. But this is more so buying a large quantity of Yu-Gi-Oh cards as far as covering in this video, because anyone can look at the price of one single card and be like, is it worth buying? Yes or no, right? You just go to TCG Player, eBay. You know, there's lots of different websites, but those are the ones that more Yu-Gi-Oh players use. Now, here's another one over here, where this one looks like more of an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player. Now, I'm always kind of on the eye when I see some of these at, you know, yard sales and stuff. Sometimes they do want like a lot of money. Like this one over here, $250. Now, he's an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player. He's showing off like, you know, a blue eyes, his blue eyes shining, and then like Exodia. If it's an LOB first Exodia, it could be worth something. And again, don't feel afraid to make an offer on this, especially if the listing has been up for like a month or two, maybe no one's hit him up. It's quite a bit of a price, especially with $250. There might be some cards in this tin that are worth way, 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 way more. Like for example, again, that starter deck Joey, like that's a common card that old school Yu-Gi-Oh players might have, or a PSV Jinzo, or a DDS Blue Eyes if you're lucky enough to find some of this. These are like the hidden gems that, like, again, like looking at this Yu-Gi-Oh little mini trade binder, I think I have one of these somewhere. It's a really old thing. Keep on the lookout for these. These are like old school Yu-Gi-Oh players that maybe haven't played the game in so long, especially if it's like showing off Dark Magician Blue Eyes. Like again, it's one of those old school Yu-Gi-Oh players that might not know the value of some of the older cards, and they're just showing off some of the like cards that they thought were popular, and they might have some really good things in here. Now again, you don't have to buy the whole thing. Maybe you could still profit off of it, but ask him, hey, can you flip through some of the pages, make a video, make a YouTube video, make a private YouTube video, show me all the cards in the the entire collection. If I'm spending $250, I want to know what's in there, you know? And I don't think it's that, you could say, hey, I'm very serious about purchasing it. Because again, sometimes people don't want to take more pictures or something, but if you say specifically, hey, I'm a very serious Yu-Gi-Oh collector, I have the money or whatever, I just want to know what's in here, they might be willing to make a private YouTube video, send you the link. Obviously, you get to see everything, and that way you can 100% get a profit off of it by just looking up all the cards that are worth more, add them up, doesn't match the 250. If not, maybe it adds up to 200 and be like, hey, you know, can I give you 50 bucks for it? And if it's been up for months and he's got no one to hit up, he might think about it, you know. Just like if you guys watch Pawn Stars, you always want to start low. You don't want to say like, you know, offering a much higher offer. Obviously, he might counter offer you and be like, hey, how about 100? Maybe it's still worth it for you. It all depends on what you want too. Now, going into another one of these where it's like way overpriced. Like no one's paying that for this Yu-Gi-Oh collection, right? He has several pictures, but he doesn't show off everything. Key thing to do. Hey, can I see all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Very serious collector, whatever the case may be. Maybe you buy a few cards off him. He's got some Sinister Serpents. That's an old school good Yu-Gi-Oh card. But again, a lot of these old school Yu-Gi-Oh players, they show off Exodia. They show off Blue Eyes, Dark Magician. These cards aren't really like... Some versions, yes, they can be worth... Like DDS Blue Eyes, that card's pricey. But a lot of times, they're really just like not that pricey as far as like what they're showing off. Especially if they show off the Sphinxes. Again, they see it, foil, put it in the picture, right? So keep that in mind as well. But that's going to be kind of wrapping things up over here as far as the best ways to go ahead and buy Yu-Gi-Oh! So to wrap things up, now that I've shown you guys some of the tips and tricks, I would say garage sales, yard sales, as well as the Craigslist and the Facebook Marketplace are probably the best. But the #1 spot I would say is yard sales and garage sales because people just want to get rid of the stuff majority of the time with you know, those areas. And again, if you guys want to check out what was inside the Yu-Gi-Oh binder that I bought for 10 bucks, I'll link that video down below because it was definitely a fun experience. But anyways, if there's any other places you guys like to go to purchase Yu-Gi-Oh cards and building a collection, let me know down below in the comment section below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new here and you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content in the future, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and you'll definitely see more. But take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.